All right, good morning, everybody. Today's date is November 9th, 2022. This is a meeting of the members of the State Liquor Authority being conducted in our New York City office with video conferencing to New York to Albany and Buffalo. This meeting is also being live streamed on the authority's YouTube channel. Present today are Chairman Bradley, Commissioner Fan, and Commissioner Ford. Staff in attendance, Acting Counsel Amarato, Deputy Commissioner of Licensing Donahue, and myself, Secretary Roper. The next regular meeting dates are November 22nd, which is a Tuesday, and December 14th. While in the meeting rooms, please silence your mobile phones and take any phone calls or conversation outside. No food or drinks while in the room. For New York City, public restrooms are located on the second floor. Please do not touch the microphone when you approach the podium. That may need to be fixed. Items will be called in the order they are signed in, first in Buffalo, then Albany, and then in New York City. When your item is called, please approach the podium and identify yourself. Representatives should also identify their clients who are present. I believe we have an announcement.
Yes, so in order to help move along some of the, the package store applications, we're going to hold a special full board meeting on December 8th, which is a Thursday. This will be only for package store applications. The licensing board of Bureau staff is currently going through and trying to get as many of the package store applications that we have, starting with the older ones, ready for that meeting. As I said, it's only for package stores. Please don't contact licensing and requesting that if you do have one, that it be on the calendar. As I said, my staff has been working on this for about 3 weeks now, trying to identify the applications that have been around the longest, get the the gross sales letters out, and address any deficiencies. So Secretary's office will probably be sending out those, at least the first wave of the notices to applicants to let you know in opposition. We're anticipating somewhere between 20 and 25 applications being on that calendar. So it will be a busy day, and then anything we can't get to will be added to the December 14th calendar.
Chairman, do you have any other announcements? No. All right. First item is in Buffalo. That's 1628 Mux Hospitality, LLC.
Good morning, Robert Heil, consultant.
Good morning, Tom O'Callahan from Mux Hospitality.
Looks like we can move this here as well.
Are you the only principal of this place?
No, it is me and my wife.
Who had the license canceled previously?
I did, with a group of four, another corporation, 5-Pack Inc.
All right. What are your hours?
We're still building right now.
What hours will you be open?
The hours we're expected to be open is 11 a.m. till 1 a.m.
In your application, you ask for 5 to 6 private events per year. Do you mean per month or per year?
Per year for the holidays.
Okay.
And why do you need all this entertainment if you're a restaurant? Live music, jukebox, DJ, recorded.
It'll be 2 floors. The first floor will be the bar restaurant. The second floor will be the dedicated dining area. So we expect to do some sort of live entertainment on the first floor. And then the jukebox will be the background music.
I mean, you got a big place, you're gonna have all this music and no security? You have the place holds 150.
Security will be needed, or be used as needed, for sure.
He didn't ask for it though, or state it, so I guess we could say that if you approve it, we'll make that part of it.
We can make that work.
Yes.
You're not gonna say at 9 o'clock become a nightclub, correct?
That is correct. That will not be allowed.
You're gonna be a restaurant.
Yes, full menu.
The members ready to vote? Commissioner Fan?
I'm going to vote to approve 1 a.m. across the board, security as needed, DJ jukebox, recorded live music, private events a year, no third-party promoters.
Commissioner Ford?
I'll approve under the same stipulations.
Chairman Bradley?
I'll approve under the same condition.
All right,
Luck.
thank you. You're
Thanks.
approved.
Thank you.
Next in Buffalo is 1659 BK8B and Loaded LLC.
Again, Robert Heil is the consultant.
John Vivier for Baked and Loaded.
And Teresa Vivier at Baked and Loaded.
So, Mr. Vivier, is that you right there? I'm sorry?
Yes,
John?
yes.
Okay, all right. So in your personal questionnaire that you filed for this application, you represented that you didn't have a license revoked when in fact that you did. Did you fill out the application yourself?
My
Or
wife
look it over?
figured, what's that, sir?
Did you fill out the application yourself or someone fill it out for you or what?
So my wife filled out the application, and as far as I know, that license was never revoked.
Well, what do you think happened to it?
It was resolved. We just closed the business.
Well, you claimed you didn't even, besides not disclosing the revocation, you didn't even disclose you had a license.
So there was a
And you-
misunderstanding?
No,
And you signed that form.
Yes, he did.
yes,
He answered the question, misunderstanding, thinking, did the establishment ever have a license before?
right, the
We
new
corrected that.
restaurant.
How,
Whoa. You owned a business and you weren't aware it was licensed to serve alcohol?
No. When we filled out the new application, he addressed the question stating that that did not have a previous license. If you look at his first license, he was actually married to somebody else. He was a minor partner in that and had very, very little to do with the operation of that. So he was actually incarcerated at the time that license was what he believed surrendered.
but how does that, a misunderstanding about him even having a license?
Just a total misunderstanding of how he answered that question. We corrected that as soon as we realized what was said.
Well, you corrected it after we pointed it out to you.
And again, we were not able to do a GIS and find out if he had been licensed. Typically, we do that for our clients just to make sure.
So he didn't remember he was licensed.
He just didn't read the question correctly.
It was almost 20 years ago.
So then the other question I have is, how did he even have the license? It appears he was convicted of a felony.
No, he was charged with a felony, convicted of a misdemeanor.
Okay.
Are the
He has
members
a
ready to
10%
vote?
interest in this application.
He has how much in this one?
He has a 10%.
10%.
Is that enough for him to remember next time that he has an interest?
Yes, sir.
What are your hours?
Currently, our operating hours are 11 a.m. until 7 p.m.
It's
Those are
recorded,
seasonal hours.
and it's recorded music? Oh, no, it's not.
But when you say, you mean those, are you gonna be open later during different seasons?
Yes, in the,
That's the question. What are your hours?
Hours are going to be.
our longest hours.
the latest you want to stay open? What is it?
Okay, so our latest hours are 11 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Okay.
And you guys are married, I take it?
Yes, we are.
So why is he only a 10% owner?
I have my own business.
He has his own business that he runs and operates. This is my business. He's a 10% owner.
I don't
because-
want to break it to you, but it's 50% his.
Yeah, no, I get it. I understand that. Thank you for that. Yeah, he does the maintenance for the building, so yeah, I guess it really doesn't matter. You're 100% correct. Anything goes wrong, he's getting a half.
Tell my wife that half of everything is mine too. I don't think she knows that.
Yeah, she won't believe it.
Small believe.
I'll do my best.
All right, well, go ahead, Commissioner.
Or fan.
I'm going to vote to approve with the following conditions. Recorded and live music, DJ karaoke. You want dancing or no dancing?
No dancing.
No dancing. 6 private events a year, no third-party promoters. Bathroom waiver is okay. Security as needed. Midnight across the board.
Commissioner Ford.
Thank you.
I'll approve under the same conditions.
And Chairman
I'll
Bradley.
approve under the same condition.
Good luck.
Thank you
Thank
very
you
much.
so much.
Next is 1647 40K Wines LLC.
Good morning, Tracy John, and I'm here with Principal Jim Ware. This is an application for a small package store. He has a space that has both a wine bar and adjacent to it a small package store to sell mostly the wines that he'll be serving in the wine bar. This is an area of the city where there's a lot of new
So there's,
development.
is there any opposition there? In the room with you, is there opposition?
Yes, I'm sorry, there is.
Can you put them up first and we'll hear
Sure.
from them first?
Sure. Hello,
Good morning.
Hi.
I am Melissa Knight from New Generation Liquors.
Okay.
Can you oppose this?
Yes.
Can you tell us why?
So, 9 months ago, I was granted my liquor license for 6 Atlas Street. She is, I don't know your name, but you are correct. This is a new build area in downtown Rochester. And it's not yet developed where we need 3 stores in less than a mile radius of one another.
Okay.
You'd both be in the inner loop, correct?
Yes. Like less than 500 feet away from one another. And also they did fail to put their paper up stating that they had applied for their liquor license. And I also sent pictures of that.
Okay. Anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Chairman, I believe there's somebody here in support. Do you want to hear them before us as well?
No, well, when you're done, they can come up.
Okay. As we described, this is a fairly new developed area of the city of Rochester. This is a mixed-use building with some office presence and a lot of residential premise. This will be in the first floor of the building, and as I said, it's a wine bar with an adjacent, a very small, only 500 feet. You can see that there's very few, from the diagram, shelves, and they're looking to have wines that are very different than what would be available at any of the other close liquor stores. The others have.
So why, let me ask you this, why do you, it's clear that with the wine bar, he's focusing on wine. The application indicates he's focusing on wine. Why does he need a liquor store license? Why not a wine store?
We've indicated in our write-up that they're gonna have a small curated thing of higher-end bourbons and some other liquor. It's a very small selection, but higher-end products that are not available at the mass market liquor stores that are selling, more of the popular items. This is a building in an area that has a little bit higher income, so they're looking to have products that are a little bit higher end and not generally available at the small liquor store like New Generations or at the larger liquor stores that are around that are large market. So with the application, we have, submitted a lot of the new development that is around, some petitions, some letters of support to show that the general community believes that this would be a good addition. We recognize that there is another liquor store nearby. Their hours are different, their products are slightly different.
How are their hours different?
I think we detailed that.
You made a statement that kind of like you'd heard or you were told that their hours are sporadic or something like that. I'm looking for it right now.
Yeah, they have their hours start at 3 p.m. and go until 8 p.m. New Generations. Red Front Liquor closes at 7 p.m. Several of the nights of the week, 8 p.m. on Wednesday, and is not open on Sunday. So the hours of this place will go until 9 and start earlier than 3. So they have slightly different and more expanded hours than the other two liquor stores that are nearby.
And this is the compliment.
I'm sorry, my hours did change. That was when we first opened to get the area to know that we were a new liquor store. Our hours of operation is now from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. and we are open on Sundays.
Okay. Go ahead, ma'am.
Are you affiliated with the Ryan Bar next to you, or you're just opening a?
It's the same person, company.
Yeah, for us, it's one space and it's been divided with 2 separate entrances because of the separation between the on-premise and the off-premise.
Okay, so.
That's not in front of us yet, but it's
Well,
applied for.
it wouldn't. So they've applied for the restaurant wine license, right? For the space next to it, the same 2 people. What they've done is, and we've allowed this, is there's a public vestibule, right? So you enter the public vestibule, you go left to the restaurant, right to the package store.
But the restaurant location is not actually licensed yet.
Not yet.
No, they're both pending.
These pictures are all the new construction.
There are some pictures that are new construction, and there were some pictures put in on Friday that were of the opposing liquor stores to show a little bit about what those liquor stores, and to support what we were saying about the product mix being different and the variety that the other liquor stores had. No construction has begun on this liquor store yet. The application that is before you.
So are you saying that your bourbon, what is going to be different from the store that I have?
Sorry. No, yeah. No side conversations, please. It's just to the members.
Okay.
Put it over. It's gonna get like. It's not even coming. It's not even coming.
You want to hear from
You want to put your support up?
Absolutely.
Hi, good morning. Adam Burrell with Buckingham Properties.
You're the landlord?
I represent the landlord and
Hi.
one of the lead developers in spearheading the redevelopment of downtown Rochester.
Okay. Thank you.
For Are the members ready to vote, or do you have any other questions?
I'm ready. Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, if the members are ready, Commissioner Fan.
With the pending wine bar application, I'm going to find public convenience and advantage, and vote in the affirmative.
Commissioner Ford.
Yes, there is another store, new store, relatively close. But in this case, I agree with Commissioner Fan that there's public convenience and advantage for this place with the next business that hopefully you do get it licensed. And you have a really small footprint at that. So I'm going to vote to approve as well.
And Chairman Bradley.
I'm going to vote to approve as well, but I'm going to suggest that the only products that they're permitted to sell in the liquor store are products that they're serving in the wine bar.
Is it a tavern wine? Because this is a package store.
Yeah, they're not gonna be able to sell any liquor.
Because I think the other store is going to be a wine.
Oh, your other store's a wine store?
It's a restaurant wine license.
It's a restaurant wine license?
Yes, for a wine bar.
Oh, then I'm voting to deny. You can't, I don't see the purpose of having a liquor store when there's one 200 feet or 500 feet away that we just put there. So you're going to sell liquor when your wine bar's not even selling liquor.
Correct.
So I'm voting to deny.
But you've been approved, so. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next is 1639 Bailey Farm LLC. And I believe there's opposition in Albany and then the applicants in Buffalo. So if you can introduce yourself in Buffalo first.
Sure, I'm Josh Werbeck. I'm an attorney at Bousquet Holstein Law Firm in Syracuse, New York. I'm here on behalf of Bailey Family LLC. There's a typo in the notice for the hearing. With me today is not the principal. The principal is Warren Bailey, but today his son is here, Robert Bailey. Warren wanted to be here with us, but he was notified on Sunday that an emergency kidney transplant was finally available. He's at Strong in Rochester. He did send me a photo of himself. He's doing very well. He wanted to be here with all of us, but just couldn't be. So his son is here in his stead, and I'll be happy to answer any questions for the board.
Is there any protesters there?
In Albany.
Not in Buffalo.
Can we hear, we'll hear from them first, please.
Doug Muro, Bridgeport Liquors.
Go ahead.
I oppose this new opening because it's within walking distance of the liquor store that I've been in town for over 10 years. The population in Bridgeport is only 1,400 people, and it decreases every year within almost 1% a year. And it's getting smaller and smaller in Bridgeport. Bridgeport is like a tourist town, and once everyone goes away, we rely on our customer base, which is small, and it'd be hard to operate a liquor store with only 60 people a day. If you open another store, you drop that in 50%, it's going to be hard to keep the stores open.
Aren't you also located right in front of the new
Casino.
new casino right there? It's right behind you, isn't it?
Yeah, so what's happened, obviously COVID's did a lot for liquor stores. And after that, all the money taken away, people not working, business would operate off. The casino doesn't really help us too much. It really hurts us. They have their liquor license. They draw on what money the people do have in town, draws to the casino. So I really call our store like a $10 store. Everyone's buying, instead of their $20 bottles, they're down to $8.99 to $15.99. And it's really tough trying to keep the place open. So with another store opening, with the population rate in the way the economy is today, I don't know if it's a great idea.
Okay, thank you. Is anybody else there? In
No.
opposition?
No.
Okay, anything else, sir?
That's it for now.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Chairman Bradley, Bailey family proposes an entirely different store than Bridgeport Liquor. It's going to be a much larger store. It's a store located in a massive plaza. The plaza has 4 convenient entrances from major thoroughfares. It's adjacent, it's literally adjacent to an apartment complex and a large residential neighborhood with hundreds and hundreds of residents. I plan to address the written opposition that's in the file, but I'll turn to Bridgeport Liquor first. Bridgeport Liquor is in a different county.
Can you just focus on why your guy has got public convenience and advantage? We all read the opposition.
Okay, yep, and I submitted some supplemental materials last week pointing out all of the benefits of this store's location, its size, and I disagree that the population is stagnant. The population in our county is growing every year, and this particular area has been targeted
Did you
for
submit
massive...
Did you submit anything showing that?
I submitted it in writing in my supplemental submission last week. I did not print out the census tracts that I relied on, but the census tracts do support that. And this area is targeted for massive population growth. Governor Hochul and President Biden were in Onondaga County just a couple weeks ago touting the $100 billion investment that Micron's going to make on Route 31, the same street that we're located on, down the road, but on the same side of the county that we live in. This area is going to...
That doesn't start for 2 years. So let's not go there.
That's right, but this area's population is growing and it will continue to grow over the next few years. Plus, this store is in a different county. It's in a different town. It serves a different population than Bridgeport Liquor, and it's a much more convenient location. Bridgeport Liquor is on the busy highway, no parking, no easy access. It's not pedestrian friendly. It's not bicyclist friendly. And we have the opposite. And the 2 stores are separated by a river, a bridge, a traffic circle, and again, this very busy major highway of Route 31. So the stores are going to serve different groups. They're materially different. Our store is almost twice the size as Bridgeport Liquor. Bridgeport Liquor is just a postage stamp size store down the road. And so we'll have much more selection and opportunity for customers serving the public convenience advantage of those that visit.
I just want to make, Bridgeport is 1,000 square feet. You're at 1,800 square feet.
I said nearly double the size. Yes, sir.
No, I just want to make sure, because you said 1,000 was postage size. I'm just trying to.
That's right,
get a
Commissioner.
comparison.
That's right. Our space in the plaza is 1,800 square feet. So it's a
bigger stamp.
I would argue a materially larger store. You know, and I'd also note that the other locations that did respond are showing massive increases, at least down the road at Torchwood, in terms of gross sales. I mean, even coming out of the pandemic, comparing 2018 numbers and 2019 numbers to 2021, at Torchwood, it's a $500,000 increase in 1 year and a $750,000 increase in the other year. And then on Hulbert Street, he's had increases every single year since 2018, with just a modest decrease coming out of the pandemic of just 1%. So the interest is certainly there among these communities. And then
Sir, this is why I asked you not to go into this. These stores you're talking about are over 6 miles away.
Agreed.
They're almost in another zip code.
That's right.
So why are we even discussing them? The point of you being here is to discuss public convenience and advantage for your guy, not
That's
about
right.
the store 7 miles away.
I agree. Yes, Chairman. This store...
I have some questions about your client, because I don't believe I've ever have anyone come in showing me a picture that the applicant is incapacitated and unable to run the business for sure. So what's the plan here?
Commissioner Fan, we expect him to be out of the hospital this week, actually. It was a very good, very well-timed surgery, and everything went very well. He will be a on-the-ground principal of this store. And it's going to be just like the name, Bailey Family. It is a family business. Mr. Bailey's son, Robert, is here with me today in his stead. We've been working on this for a year together. He was dying to be here, but this kidney transplant opportunity only comes up once in a while. It went very well. He's going to be a part of the business.
Who else is on the license application besides Mr. Bailey? Looks like
no one.
No one but him.
That's right. Mr. Bailey's the sole owner, but we did submit a PQ for Robert because Robert anticipates being a manager. Robert, not in the last 5 years, but in his past, he's worked as a retail clerk at grocery stores. He's also been a security guard for on-premises locations. He's familiar with checking IDs. He's familiar with retail sales. But Warren Bailey's the sole owner of the LLC.
Well, but he, in the application, he's also going to be the manager.
That's right.
Who, Warren?
Warren.
So is Robert now gonna be the manager?
No, I didn't mean to overstate the medical condition. That it was only that Warren couldn't be here today. Warren's going to be out of the hospital this week. Warren will be an on-the-ground principal and manager at this store, working there.
Okay, a transplant is pretty serious.
And it went tremendously well. We're lucky. I probably would end up repeating myself, but as to the public convenience and advantage of this particular store, it's a larger store than any stores nearby. It's located in a very convenient plaza, massive plaza. It's adjacent to a residential community. It's adjacent to an apartment complex. And for all of those reasons, it will serve the public convenience and advantage of this growing community.
You said massive plaza.
In terms of, a northeast Onondaga County standards, this is a big plaza.
Okay, so, but what's in the plaza?
There's right now, there's a restaurant, a smoke shop in the plaza. This is a vacant space. There's a drugstore, pizza shops nearby, and then a large parking area, something that the other stores do not have. We have this very convenient parking space.
I'm not sure if we would consider that to be a massive shopping center, but
I don't mean to mislead anyone. It's a massive space it has a big building on it, and it is quite a large parking area. It's very convenient.
All right, so I believe the members are ready to vote. Commissioner Fan?
I would like to be able to put this store there, but there's one that is very, very close by and doing decreasing numbers.
Commissioner
So
Fan, their
I'm
numbers.
going to vote to
Their numbers are
deny.
big.
And
All right,
sorry,
Commissioner
sir.
Ford.
Commissioner Ford.
This store is in a shopping center. It's right behind a Dunkin' Donuts. I know exactly where it is. I live in the area. And I think, and it is in another county. It's across the bridge, across the river, whatever. And I do see it as a public convenience and advantage for someone traveling from Cicero on 31, say, going east into Madison County, or if someone was taking a right on 298 and going towards Manlius or Syracuse area. Closest store, Bridgeport, they did have a significant bump for 2020 because of COVID, like everyone did. They still did much better than they had before 2020 and 21, and it looks like they might be on track to do kind of like what they did last year. So I do think that being in the plaza and the parking and everything else does provide some public convenience and advantage, so I'm going to vote to approve.
And Chairman Briley.
The three of the four closest stores are over 6 miles away. The only store that's remotely convenient is Bridgeport Liquors. Given where this store, the applicant is located, and the fact that there's only one other liquor store for residents to go to, I think choice is a important factor here. So I'm going to vote to approve. I think there is public convenience and advantage.
All right. You've been
Thank
approved.
you all. Thank you all.
Have a good day.
You too.
All right, Nicole, there's no one else in Buffalo, is that correct?
That is correct.
All right, you can sign off. Thank you.
We're gonna. I know your dad.
Okay.
Thank you. You can. So we're moving on to Albany. First item there is 1625 Aaron's Discount Wine and Liquor LLC. The request for reconsideration.
Commissioners, Chairman, members of the board, good morning. My name's Sean May. I'm here this morning with Aaron Liu and Sandy Liu. This is a request for reconsideration of a package store denial for a store up in Queensbury, New York. We've made some submissions. I believe we have a strong public convenience and advantage argument. There were some clarifications of some information that was at the board the last time that might not have been accurate. Again, the location of the store, very pedestrian friendly. It's the only pedestrian friendly store in the area. Bay Road, I've submitted pictures with there's a plethora of bike trails, there's a bike share from CDTA up there, wide shoulders, sidewalks, residential, densely populated residential areas up there. This is the only pedestrian friendly store in the area. Otherwise, you're required to cross Quaker Road, which is effectively a 5-lane thoroughfare in Queensbury. I've submitted some letters of support. The chairman of the Glens Falls Planning Board, the town supervisor in Queensbury support this store. They bolster our pedestrian-friendly argument for the area. I've submitted, we've been doing some research on the New York products that we would like to carry in the store. We've got a beautiful New York room where we showcase these New York products. As the prior attorney said, these are, the other stores in the area are not carrying these kind of New York products that we're looking to carry. Extended closing hours. Again, the closest stores to us are closing quite early. Does not serve the public convenience with, the 7 p.m. closing hours when we've got businesses nearby, restaurants nearby. Our extended closing hours, midnight during the week, will benefit the public convenience and advantage, just for opportunity alone. And the number of package stores, that last time there was some confusion, it was stated there are 12 package stores in the area. Again, the argument was that there are 12 package stores in Saratoga with a smaller population, very sustainable. There are only 7 stores in the Glens Falls, Queensbury area, not 12. So that was a misstatement in the prior meeting. And again, we also wanted to point out the gross sales receipt from one of the stores, Monty's. I put it in my submissions. Their gross sales receipts are actually up. Their report didn't have an as-of date. If you look at the numbers, the as-of date would be September, and they were, almost $3 million in September of 2021. So, you got October, November, December, some of the busiest months of the year. They're over $3 million. They're up for that year for 2021 as well. So, yeah. So I made some submissions. We've got pictures. The local distillery and wineries are expanding. We're going to be an outlet for those folks. And again, I really strongly like to emphasize the pedestrian-friendly nature of the store. I know Queensbury, they're trying to make this kind of like the town center. There's a lot of commercial, shopping opportunities on Quaker Road and everything, but for the locals and for the people who live up north, Bay Road is really where it's at for getting around tourist traffic and thoroughfares. And again, very pedestrian friendly. It's just something that the other stores don't offer. So we believe we have a strong public convenience and advantage argument for this location.
This letter from the town of Queensbury Supervisor John Strow, yes. There's no date on it. When did that come in?
That was a recent one. That was
at the end of September.
Yeah, end of September. These are all very recent letters.
Around the same time.
So that and plus the letter from the Adirondack Regional Chamber of Commerce there, well, that's September 26th. So that's obviously since the original decision.
It is, yep. And then from Ethan Hall, the chairman of the City of Glens Falls Planning Board, he's October 6th as well, Commissioner. So those are all recent.
How does he know the liquor store owner that where at the liquor store you used to work at?
Which store you work at? Oh, I used to work for Monty's Wine and Liquor. He's your brother? He's my brother, yes, but we haven't been talked since 2019 when my father passed away.
Monty's his brother, Chairman.
Monty's the one that was missing 3 months sale for
Yep.
the
But
record.
their father had passed away, they had a falling out, they really don't communicate anymore, it's unfortunate. But there's no connection between the two stores.
No, but he's also one of the 4 closest and didn't oppose the store.
I mean, he's a smart man. That's why he played the number, because he know that you guys look at the numbers, and that's the reason for my, it will be the reason for my denial. That's why he did not put down the as of date. And then he might have went to the other 2 stores now to ask them to go oppose.
And plus, he's doing pretty well.
Monty's has a good store, he's doing pretty well. It's, yeah, compared to like Purdy's and Saratoga, they never object. There's no reason.
Also, the Mohan's business went up by a lot too.
The numbers are trending upwards
Yeah.
on the gross sales receipts. We just wanted to clarify the Monty's numbers because the as of date was not included in there, so it looks like it was trending down. However, they are, October, November, December, they're well over 3 million. They're trending. They're trending up.
All right, Donald, I think unless anyone has any
All
questions.
right, on the request for reconsideration,
I'm gonna vote yes.
Commissioner Ford
I vote yes on recon as well.
and Chairman Bradley.
I'll vote to reconsider.
So on the application itself,
I'm gonna vote yes to approve.
Commissioner Ford,
Commissioner Fan voted yes the last time to approve, but her stipulation was that you didn't sell what the other store around the corner from you was selling. You still willing to do that? Steer away from those SKUs?
To limit your products to what, if the other store's carrying this stuff, well, we're definitely gonna concentrate on New York stuff that the other stores aren't carrying, but it's still,
But the near 2 store that was closed at 7 and 6:30 on the weekdays,
for the
after
closing
they,
numbers.
yeah, that after they close, we're gonna open till midnight. Then we're gonna serve the convenience if we carry all these products, different products
Yeah,
too.
Roach, the Aranda wine that's right nearby us, they are more higher end product. We try to like
Yeah, we have a lot
affordable
more
ones, and we'll
affordable.
try to stay away from the product. Try to be different from them.
All right,
Also,
all right.
we are right next to
I think,
All right.
yes, thank you.
I'm good, thank you.
That's a no, I think, Commissioner.
Yeah, it's a no. It's a clear no. But you do have the support of the Adirondack Regional Chamber of Commerce, and you also have the support of the town of Queensbury. So I'm going to vote to approve.
And Chairman Bradley.
Okay. Thank
I'm
you.
gonna vote to approve as well. I am going to make a
Thank you.
clear warning to you and your brother that if it's found that you're running these businesses remotely connected to each other, you're gonna lose both stores.
Yes, we understand.
So
Thank you.
if it comes, I hope you do end up talking to each other at some point, because that's not what I'm saying, but I
We
don't want,
understand.
I don't want, if there's co-op buying going on, both businesses will be closed.
There will
Okay.
be 100% no product sharing. If there is, shut both down.
Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you so much.
Yep, thank you.
Hopefully you guys make up.
Thank you,
Some
Sean.
business
Excuse- Let me get my bags.
Yeah,
All right. Next item in Albany is,
Sorry.
all right, we're going to take a brief recess. We'll be back on the record shortly.
okay.
Thank you.
All right, we're back on the record after a brief recess. Next in Albany is 1608 17 Maple Group LLC.
Good morning again, members. Sean May. I'm here this morning with Alex Strauss, the principal of 17 Maple Group LLC. This is a conditional no contest offer on a violation that offers $2,000. And this is for a disorderly premises. Again, you can see by our submissions, was a licensed security guard. I think was a little too aggressive with one of the patrons. Certainly unnecessary. The security guard's been dismissed. He's been fired. We've been licensed since 2017. We've got a clear history.
I'm gonna accept 2,000. Thank you for coming.
Commissioner Ford
I'll accept as well.
and Chairman Bradley.
I'll accept.
Thank you, Chair.
Yep. And Annie. Yep. And Annie.
Commissioner
Benson and
Ford.
Albany. Yeah,
Good luck.
sorry.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you.
Welcome,
That's it.
sir.
All right, thanks, Annie.
Thanks.
Sign off. And...
She's like, I'm taking the rest of the year off. See you later.
All right. We're moving on to New York City items. First, I'd like to reiterate, please, the public restrooms are on the second floor. Again, the public restrooms are on the second floor. First item in New York City is 1620. That's Odonia Incorporated.
Good morning, everyone. Robert Romano. I'm here with Robert Manfredonia, who is the sole principal of Odonia Incorporated. We're here before you because this is the second application for this premise that Mr. Manfredonia has supplied to the authority based on the fact that he had omitted 2 prior arrests and convictions. That was inadvertently done. While he does accept the responsibility, some of the blame, I believe, can go to the way the application had been prepared.
And this, I'm not yelling at your client or yelling at you, but and you're in here enough to know how frequently this happens.
Absolutely.
And until either the preparers are a little more conscientious or the applicants become their own advocates, we're going to continue to have this. Now, how long, when did you apply the first time? Over a year ago, 2 years ago?
It's over a year ago,
Yeah.
sir. Yeah.
Right.
You probably would have got it then.
Yeah.
No,
But even with
apologize
Mr.
for how that
Romano,
happened.
even with this one, he didn't disclose.
I saw that. And just so you know, I received this case literally yesterday. I went through everything. I was up late last night going through the
I mean,
entire.
this almost didn't even get to the members. It
Right.
had to be disapproved because of that and because.
Oh, it was insult
licensing-
to injury.
Licensing isn't even sure what this place is.
Right. Well,
It was denied before by licensing, right? Didn't come-
The first application, right.
Okay.
right, because he had I believe that was character and fitness for omitting the arrest. This is, I have a fuller menu, if I can present it to the board, of items. There is a full-time chef, there's a full kitchen. He had not put down a full-time chef when he applied for the license in the mistaken belief that he did not have a chef hired at the time, but there will be a chef full-time.
You're gonna continue to be a firefighter?
Yes, ma'am.
So what are your hours? How are you gonna manage this place?
It's a rotating shift that I have. I have, 2 days I work and I'm off the rest of the week and, help from the bartenders.
Okay. What are your hours? You're not open right now, are you?
No, we've been closed.
What do you work, 24-hour shifts?
Yes, sir.
24 hours, so you
Yeah.
work 48 hours straight?
No, it's split up between a couple of days.
Okay.
But overtime's been crazy right now. But yeah, it's 48 hours basically.
Over the course of a week?
Yeah.
Okay.
24-hour shift, yeah.
And this business falls into his life plan, next stage of life. I mean, there will be a retirement.
You don't plan to be a firefighter all your life?
I would love to, but they cut us off at a certain age, yes, unfortunately.
What are your hours?
12 to 4. 2, whatever you allow. 6.
What do you want?
I'd like to say 12 to 4.
Yeah, you understand, if you're open till 4,
You will have a chef working. There will be food available, all open hours.
It's only 2 employees?
Because of being closed, we haven't been able to really hire anybody right now. Once we open back up, I'll have more.
Okay, well, you probably need more employees than
Correct.
just 2 people for,
A maximum
for,
50.
for,
I mean, we
for
won't have her in 3
basically
months.
46
But-
patrons.
Right, right. No, I think that's going to, he'll feel his way through that in terms of employees.
Okay. All right, Donna.
All right, yeah, Commissioner Fan.
I'm going to vote to approve. Principal to manage, security guard as needed, recorded music and jukebox allowed, no dancing, no private events, no third-party promoters, 4 a.m. across the board.
Great.
Commissioner Ford
I'll approve under the same conditions.
and Chairman Brown.
I'll approve under the same condition.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Next is 1618 J&N Liquors Inc.
18, you said?
1618.
Tom?
This is a new. Sure.
Of the old one. Go ahead.
Okay, this is an application for a removal. I don't know if they're here. I'm here to oppose it
Oh, you're here to oppose it?
and/or request an adjournment because I'm representing a store.
The pending applicant?
I'm
Represent
representing,
the pending applicant.
correct,
Who filed first?
All right,
my
well, I
client.
guess we're gonna have
Oh,
to,
God.
is Ralph, there's a couple of people here. I don't know if they're in opposition.
Ralph.
Ralph,
You can come.
Question the standing of people
Victor Molina.
opposing stores
Right.
that they don't already have.
Well, my understanding with this board is it's always been first filed, first seen.
That's, I had this discussion with you already. It's new application.
No,
All right?
okay.
If there are new applications, we try to
Who's the
get,
attorney?
assuming there are no
Right.
deficiencies, we get whichever is filed first.
Right.
If they're close in time, we get them to
I
next.
understand.
But this is a removal,
okay.
all right?
Correct.
Removals go faster through the system because they're an existing
All right,
business.
is the applicant here or
No,
no?
this is the attorney. He's waiting for the.
All right,
yeah,
then
okay.
second call.
All right, we'll wait.
Thank you.
No.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Next is 1653 Red Hook Winery LLC,
Donald, the number again?
1653.
Good morning, I'm Kevin Dano on behalf of Red Hook Wineries, and this is Mark Snyder, the owner. This is a conditional no contest plea. I'd like to say that the problem took place over 4 years ago. He has hired a compliance person since then, and there have been no problems since then. I would like you to know that he hasn't been able to withdraw any money out of this business in all the years that it's open. So the amount of the fine that we are offering is very significant, and I ask you to accept it.
I'll accept 100,000.
Commissioner Ford.
I'll accept as well.
I'll accept.
Thank you. Before I sit down, I would like to say, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I'd like to say how much I regret that Commissioner Ford is leaving us, and how I would publicly wish him a good retirement. I hope he's not bored. And I'd also like to say that I appreciate what the board is doing with the advisories. I support the advisories that are on today, and I think that you're doing everything you can to speed things up, and I really appreciate what you're doing and what Deputy Commissioner Donahue is doing.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
We tape that?
It is taped. And will be played on a loop constantly in the office.
Next is 1645 23 North Park Ave, Pub Inc.
Martin Miller, Miller Buscemi. I'd like to reiterate what Kevin just said. I already wished Commissioner Ford well, but and I've also said on the other occasion where the advisories were out that we appreciate it, and I I fully endorse the advisories that are proposed today. I'd like my clients to introduce themselves.
How you doing? My name is Anthony Gerasi.
Hi, I'm Tom McNicholas.
I'd first like to say I was just retained. The former council, for whatever reason, did not have these two here the last time. I can't explain why. So I apologize on behalf of my clients for them not being here last time. That being said, I've laid out in my request for reconsideration that these are two honorable people that have run establishments in an orderly fashion. Yes, there was something that took place 20 years ago. I submit if this were a disciplinary, that would have been wiped, as would the name change would have been wiped. This is not a disciplinary, I understand that as well, but for it to be part of the reasons for disapproval, I think just overemphasizes something that in a sense is really not true. This place is a restaurant, is always a restaurant, even with its late night activities is a restaurant. It has a lighter fare, but the kitchen is open the entire time it's open. It has had a very sterling reputation within the community. Not only do I have one police department, I have the bordering police departments, top officials saying that these are good people and they run an orderly premises. I have most of the local political officials echoing their stellar efforts within the premises. They employ a number of people in the area. They do not cause problems. They're asking for these additions because that's just the way things are in Long Island. You need a component other than food to get people in the door. They've just gone through COVID. They've had some very hard times. They're just looking to increase their revenue, and they're certainly not going to do it in a quote-unquote nightclub type atmosphere where there's going to be a problem. They've done it. There's been no problems. The police say that there are no problems, and I would ask you reconsider and allow them to have the additional methods of operation that they're asking for. And if you have any questions of the licensees themselves, here they are.
Explain, and this is to you, not to them, well, or whoever can answer. Explain to me do they own 5 Cheers?
No, actually, yes, they're on the license, but they're minority owners within. You use that. I'm sorry. The SLA used that as part of the reason that it happened there. But if I may point out, you eventually approved it.
If they're owners of that, they got violent. They were doing the DJ, the live music illegally there.
I agree.
And then later, they're still doing it at this place.
They are minority owners. They weren't really running anything over there. It was just a financial thing.
Hey, Mr. Mayor,
6% each.
I just want to clear up something, because you talked about the older history being, wiped away or.
I didn't say it was wiped away. I said if this was a disciplinary, it would be wiped away. I said that. I said that in my paper.
It's not wiped away.
It's just not considered. I
Okay,
get what you're
No,
saying.
there's a good record.
But it's only not considered with respect to disciplinary matters when there's a first offense within 5 years and there's a reduction in the penalty. As far as disciplinary history for a licensing matter, it's always considered, no matter how old it is.
I'm sorry, if I inferred that it was white, I didn't mean it that way. I meant.
What are their hours?
Let them explain.
Yes, we're open for lunch Saturday and Sunday from noon to about 3 a.m. We do last call on the weekends at 2:45, and everybody's off the premise by 3:15.
And then what during the week?
During the week, we don't open for lunch. We open at 4 p.m. We close at around 1 o'clock.
Okay.
Wait, what's the weekend hour again?
3 a.m. Last call's at 2:45.
At 12 during the week.
Yes, and they're out the door. That's out the door, 3 o'clock on weekends and 12.
Okay, Donald.
So on the request for reconsideration, Commissioner Fan,
I'll vote yes.
Commissioner Ford,
Same here. I'll vote yes
I'll
as well.
vote to reconsider as well.
on the application.
I'm only saying yes to this because you're coming in with a letter from the PD, but for sure, you've been voted the best night spot in your town. Like, this is not a new concept that you're adding.
Normally a badge of honor, but not when you're not allowed to be in that spot.
I just hope that you keep it under control, because I want to support you guys, and and you have a lot of support from your local politicians. So I'm going to vote to approve midnight Monday. Wait,
No,
midnight.
we're not, they didn't ask to change the hours.
They didn't,
No.
wait.
They just want music and
They just want,
DJ
and
and.
now they're 4 a.m., right?
No, they don't, no. I mean,
But they have that.
they don't use it.
They're just asking for
They don't
live
use the
recorded music, DJ.
Then I'll just add all the music.
Yeah.
That's fine.
And patron dancing.
That's fine.
And the 2 to 4 security personnel is needed.
Commissioner Ford
That's fine.
I'll vote to approve under the same conditions as well.
and Chairman Bradley.
I'll vote to approve as well.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next is 1610 Upright Holdings 547 LLC.
Good morning, Francis Buscemi for the licensee. And before I start, I just want to wish Commissioner Ford a fine retirement, a happy retirement, a healthy retirement.
I should have waited a month to tell everybody
No,
because
why
this is
do you
going to be
guys
a
keep
love
bringing
fest
this
for a
up?
month.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I didn't know until I just heard. I'm doing a CNC offer on this of $8,500. There were 2 charges. Basic problem one, the second charge is failure to supervise based on the first charge, which involved noise and music basically going on. The licensee has taken a number of steps to remedy the situation. First, they signed on to the RESI app, which will create a better flow of the patrons coming in and out, where you can sign on and
They
be
need to do
texted.
something. This is a regular restaurant.
Excuse me?
I will accept the 8,500, but they really should not be having such noise problems.
No, I agree. There's one, and again, they've taken a number of steps. They put a lock on volume control. They dismissed 13 out of 15 of their front of house staff. They've been replaced. They've installed video surveillance cameras inside and outside so they can see, better see or take a look if something does go wrong, take a look at it to see.
And to Commissioner Fan's point, that's all great, but they got 106 calls to the police department about noise from people that live nearby that can't sleep. That's not going to stop until they stop it. And
Yeah.
eventually it's going to cost them their business.
I agree, and believe me, I sat down and read the Riot Act. I don't think there have been any problems since.
Not that we're aware of, no.
Right, so they've implemented this stuff and it seems to be working. The one issue that's a problem throughout the area are these roving bands. And I saw a video of it. And it's a difficult situation. I was watching this. It lasts for about 2 minutes or so, where this band will just show up. I mean, there's the restaurant. People are dining on, in front of the restaurant on the sidewalk. All of a sudden, you see this roving band come in. They have trumpets, saxophones, 3 or 4 of them playing music, and it's loud. All of a sudden, the sidewalk fills up with other people, and they're tipping these guys. And then in about 2 minutes, the band leaves, and you see everything dissipate. All the crowds that are standing around on the sidewalk dissipate. Now, we're trying to control that. We're asking, or the licensee is putting more staff outside, in season, obviously, to try to control that. And all they can do is ask these roving bands to move on. They really don't have any jurisdiction over them.
Setting up on the sidewalk in front of their business?
In front of many businesses, yeah, they don't even set up so much, they just stand.
Like a parade.
Right. They're going from place to place to place to get tips, and they just walk over. They're standing in front of the restaurant at the curbside, blowing their horns and playing whatever they play. The police are aware of that, and I'm not saying all, believe me, I'm not discounting that they had other issues.
On the street with at least 8 to 10 establishments on both sides, there's a reason why they're getting the calls and not other people.
No, I'm not saying that they're not at fault for a lot of things. A number of those 311 calls do specifically talk concerning about the roving band. They had their own problems too, no doubt. We believe they have it under control.
I get it.
All
They're
right,
not the
then
worst
we're ready.
player.
Oh, she already voted, right? I'll accept.
And Commissioner Ford?
I'll accept as well.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. Calling back up 1618, J&N Liquors, Inc.
Morning.
Good morning. Victor Molina, on behalf of J&N Liquors, an application for a removal to a new location. I'm here with Mr. Julio Pimentel, the president and owner of J&N Liquors.
Okay, can we hear from the opposition?
Good morning again, Robert Romano. I'm here with Ralph Guglielmi, who is the principal of Lowe Holdings Corp. Mr. Guglielmi has an application pending before this board for a store which would be the closest store to this proposed removal application.
How close?
It's moving from, it's going from half a mile to 0.3 miles, so it's moving roughly 4 blocks closer.
But we're not increasing, the only one that's gonna increase the number of stores
It's-
within that area is your client. He's not increasing anything.
No, but my client applied for a store at a certain location, and then after it became public and in the record and an application
No, I
was,
understand that. He's moving, so this guy's gonna be 500 feet closer to him than he thought.
then correct. And that application for
But
this,
it's the same size, well, it's a little bigger store, I guess.
so this removal was actually filed subsequent to my
I
application.
get that, but I don't understand, unless he's right on top of him, the number of stores in the area are all walking distance.
Right, I just don't want the board to look at this removal as a negative.
What's the address of where you're going?
Where I'm at now?
Where you're moving to, where you're applying?
1067. White Plains Road.
1067, what is it?
White Plains Road. And
Okay,
If
I
you'd like-
get it, but it's,
so ideally would
Be
like,
bulletproof?
his application will be bulletproof. Yes, both applications, I believe, are bulletproof.
Yeah.
Again, we would ask for an adjournment.
No, we're not.
Okay, okay.
all right.
So-
I mean, it's not gonna affect, my view is it's not gonna
Okay.
affect his application. Whether
Well-
there's public convenience and advantage or not is not gonna be dictated by whether there's another store 500 foot closer than the
That
one.
was our concern.
I mean,
That's
it's
it.
not a new store, it's just moving. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Good morning again, Chairman and members of the board. I had written a written submission on behalf of J&N Liquors. I hope the board members have the written submission on behalf of, written by myself and the applicant. The applicant was at the.
So why is he moving?
He's moving because the old lease expired and we were unable to negotiate a new lease.
And how big, oh, it's bulletproof, so all of it is.
Yeah.
Not open to the public. Okay.
The applicant was licensed for 11 years. I think he had one incident in 2016 for a use of EBT. And he's been a stellar applicant since and before that.
All right.
Members ready to vote?
I'm gonna vote to approve.
Commissioner Ford?
I'm going to vote to approve as well.
And Chairman Bradley?
I'm gonna vote to approve. He's moving, it looks like 0.2 miles from his current location. Although the store's larger, it's a bulletproof store, so it's not really relevant.
Thank you.
Yep, have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next is 1640, JDS Discount Wines and Liquors, Inc.
Good morning, John Springer for the applicant. With me is Harpreet Kaur, the principal, and this gentleman is representing the landlord. You want to put your name on the record, sir?
My name is John Tannenbaum. I'm an attorney for the landlord and a principal in the landlord.
We believe there's opposition here.
Come on up, Mike.
Good morning, Francis Buscemi for the opposition to this license application. I represent Herrick Jericho Wines, and Grand Wine. There's also another store here. With me today is Mr. Reed from Herrick Ms. Chan from Jericho Wines, and Mr. Chen from Grand Wine and Liquor. This is an application for a 3,150 square foot store with 1,755 square feet of retail space. This is the third time that this particular application is on before the board. JDS was heard on April 14th at the full board meeting 2021 and disapproved, then filed for reconsideration, and the board disapproved that on August 18th of 2021. It's anticipated that the applicant will use the argument that it is not adding a new store to the mix, but simply replacing a store that had existed in the area or the location of Villa Liquors. I want to point out that the board, at the time it initially voted to disapprove this application, thought that Villa Liquors actually was canceled or terminated license. And I also like to point out that Villa Liquors has been out of business for 2.5 years. So it's not as if this is a relatively new termination of license with someone moving in. When we look at the existing stores, the 4 closest stores, I'll start with Grand Wine and Liquor. It's down, it shows decreasing sales from 2017 to 2019. Its 2021 sales are down 23% from its 2020 sales. And if you, for the 9 out of the first 10 months of 2022, its sales have been down every month, 9 out of 10. It's a 3-minute drive. Grand is a 3-minute drive from the applicant's location. When Lisbon Wine and Liquors, which is an 800 square foot store, their sales are down from 2016 to 2019, and from 2020 through 2022, their sales have been flat. Jericho Wines, Inc. Has, between 2016 and 2019, decreased sales each year, and then its 2022 sales are down 9% in total from 2021 sales through October of this year. And if we look at September sales, 2022, it's down 9.2%, and its October 2022 sales are down over 18% from its October 2021 sales. And I gave you exhibits charts of this information. Jericho is a 2-minute drive from the applicant's location. And driving distances or times are important because this is a driving community out on Long Island. You have over 90% of households have vehicles. This is not a type of community where people walk to do their shopping. Herrick Street, that has small increases in sales between 2018 and 2019. The issue here, even though there's been a slight increase in sales, its profitability is down, as are a lot of the other stores because of their sales margins. They have to compete with Total to stay in business. So margins have been cut dramatically, and I gave you examples from Herrick Street store as to what its profit margins, what its margins look like on the sale price and cost of a few products as examples. So even though it's flat to a slight increase, its profits are down from what it used to be. And that store is a 2-minute drive from the applicant's location. We have 6 stores within 1.5 miles of the applicant, and we have 22, I think I might have left one out. The liquor store, Wine Market, who's here, that would make it 23 stores within a 3-mile radius of the applicant. When we look at the demographics of the area, you've got between 2010 and 2019, within a half-mile radius, population is down. When we look at a 1.5 mile radius from the applicant, it showed little growth between 2010 and 2019. There was an increase in population for all those years, 450 people. When we look at the demographics and we look at the zip.
150 people from when to when?
2010 to 2019. Projected annual growth going through 2024 is negative. And I show you this in the demographic report as well as in zip code data. Zip code data and the demographic report indicate that there's been, I think, 1% of housing has been built since after 2010. I think some of the stores, I know the Wine Market would like to make a statement to the members.
Hello, everyone. Nothing new, but sales have been consistently down, especially since Total Wines and mom and pop stores are closing, and they are being affected more than closing, but definitely being affected by offices being less and less due to COVID. People are not coming to it. It's a whole official area, and there's a big giant building built right before COVID closed down, and business is affected no matter what we say. And I would really like to request that this application not be approved. Thank you.
One thing I also would like to add, these are full service stores, and I have it in my, in my report to you. I mean, we have stores that are carrying between 2,000 and 4,000 SKUs of products. They carry all types of products, domestic, international wines and liquors. So that, they're serving the community. Anyone else would like to?
Good morning. My name is Helen Chan from Jericho Wines. I oppose to opening another store because economy's been really bad and sales has been down. I notice all the customers, they're really budgeting. They're not spending money, especially when we're competing with Total Wine. Our margin has to be, we have to go.
Are you representing her, Mr. Buscemi?
Yes.
Yeah, we don't, just put her
okay.
name on. I don't need to rehash
Okay.
all the arguments.
All right.
You guys want to put your name on the record? Go ahead.
Oh, just name my name?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm David.
That's Herrick Street.
Jericho?
Reed. Mr. Reed from Herrick Street.
Okay.
I put on one, yeah.
And this is
Tony.
Mr. Chen from Grand
Grand
Wine.
Wine, yeah.
Okay. All right, thank you. Thank you, gentlemen.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Springer, if you want to come up.
Thank you. Well, it is true that this matter was, original application was heard in April of last year, 2021. We didn't get an opportunity to speak because of the COVID rules. We weren't allowed to be here. You spoke for the matter for about a minute and 49 seconds. Commissioner Ford mentioned that the closest store, Jericho, had just been licensed in 2018, which is misleading because that was a removal in the neighborhood. The store is older than that. As far as Herrick, Mr. Buscemi is 180 degrees opposite in his position today when he got that store approved as a new store in 2017. Villa Liquors was in our location in 2017. Total Wine was there as well. Herrick wasn't worried about just a store on our plaza then, but now they are, obviously. Nor was Jericho Wines, nor was Lisbon Wines, nor was Grand Wines. There's been a store in this location for over 50 years. It had its license until this year. And the only reason he lost the license was I made a non-bona fide complaint because he wouldn't take it out of safekeeping. On reconsideration in August of last year, Commissioner Ford shut us down. He said, I can't approve a store here while there's a store there. But I point out that just 2 weeks ago, when Mr. Bookman was here, we had the same exact situation where a store was in safekeeping, they lost the location, and he jumped up and down and said, you're acting on, I don't know, bad facts or whatever he said. And you had a confab about it, and you came out and you approved it, and you told him if he applies for removal. Anyway, so we left after the reconsideration, and we worked on getting the Villa Liquors to either sell us the license. We offered him money. The man just has no business sense. He's older. He has another store with his wife where he spent most of his time, and he just didn't listen. If we offered him $10,000 just to agree to surrender the license if we got approved, which would have made it a transfer, and then we wouldn't be here. This supermarket has had for all these years, the driving distances that Mr. Buscemi talks about were the same as they were for his client when they got approved. As far as the gross sales, he's going back to 2016, and he's going back to last month. I don't have any of that. I have what's on your agenda sheet. Jericho Wines was at 1.9 in 2000.
You do. Did you not do the earlier application?
I did.
Well, then you do have them going back.
Okay, if they
That
were
earlier application.
okay, if they were part of that.
2020, right?
Okay, well, we're here today on a new application, and
Well, that's how he has them. You're asking how he has them. That's how he has them.
okay, thank you. That's fair. 2018 Jericho was at 1.9. They moved into the 2.2 in 2020. Maybe that's a COVID bump, but in 2021 they stayed above that. As far as this year, we haven't gone into holiday season yet, and that's where most of the sales are from. Herricksey, same thing. New store 1.08 in 2018. 2020 with the COVID bump, they got 1.7 million. But then they were at 1.9 million last year. Not all of the stores are higher in 2021 than they were pre-COVID. They didn't go back down. Maybe the last store, the last store was at 800,000 in 18. They were at 936 in 20, and they're at the same number in 2021. So the sales are not stagnant, they're all increasing.
I'm not reading them that way, but I read 21 as also COVID, so go ahead.
Now, how do you read it? It says 930.
I said I'm reading 2021 is also affected by COVID.
Okay, so if they go up, it's a COVID bump, and if they go down, it's decreasing sales, so you can't win. You
No,
can't.
that's what we've been saying consistently since we've been here. I don't
Okay.
know whether you watched the hearings or not, because you were in here last time and telling us that something that I do in every meeting, we never do.
Never done
Now
it?
you're telling us also that we don't consider 2021 as affected by COVID. I've been doing it since then.
Okay, and what I'm saying is, if you're doing that, what you're doing is saying, everybody got a COVID bump in 2021, and if it went down, it shows that 2020 was a COVID bump, and
I don't see many that did go down, but
Well.
like you just pointed out, but go ahead.
In any event, don't just consider the customers that are coming to this new supermarket, and the landlord can talk about that. All the stores that are in there have been waiting for a new store. This store is actually built. As I said, we did have gross sales for Villa Liquors when Herricksey ran, and he was doing 1.5 million. Those sales just didn't go into, which are strong numbers compared to all these other stores. So there was a demand here, and it's still there. We got a brand new shopping supermarket that's doing a lot of advertising and marketing. All the stores signed petitions the last time saying how they missed the store. It was helpful. It brought people in. Why should somebody leave this parking lot and drive 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever, on Jericho Turnpike, one of the heaviest traveled roads in Nassau County, to go to another store just to find parking to buy wine? If they want to shop in that supermarket, they should have
So
that.
are you suggesting every plaza should have a liquor store in Nassau County?
No, I'm not. I'm saying this one should, because it's been there for 50 years. It was there for 50 years for a reason. It was serving the public. You should allow these people to continue to serve the public and to serve and to supplement and complement the liquor store. If you had no problem in 2017 with putting Herricksey there right after Total Wine, If you had no problem doing that when there was a store here, why is it now a problem? Why would it now be a problem for us to replace that store? We're not adding a new store. It was licensed until February. The landlord would like to say something.
Good morning. Villa Liquors was a tenant at the shopping center for 40 years. For the last 20 of those years, he didn't have a lease. He wouldn't sign a lease. And when we were negotiating new leases over the years, in those last 20 years, he changed his mind 3 or 4 or 5 times. Jim Zanetti, who owned the store and owned another store nearby, was a difficult person. Now, that all being said, he had a popular store. We've always had a supermarket. We have a supermarket now, Lidl. They signed a new lease in negotiated in 2019, signed in the beginning of 2020. The existing tenants, some of them have been there for the same 40 years, have always had a liquor store, and their clientele also utilize the liquor store. People go to the pizzeria, to the Chinese restaurant, people who are shopping at the card store. All these tenants relied on a liquor store as they relied on the supermarket. The supermarket signed a lease based on the liquor store being there. Even up to the last possible moment, Zanetti and Villa Liquors were going to change stores as we redid the plaza and relocate within the plaza. And then he disappeared. Then he decided, you know what? It turns out that I'm losing money. And the reason he told me he was losing money was because his employees were stealing from him. He wasn't a great businessman and he wasn't an easy person to deal with, but the center itself and the neighborhood shouldn't suffer because he held a license for 1.5 years while we were all trying to survive COVID and trying to get in front of the board and replace the liquor store that we've always had. And that being said, as for 2 other things, more people are walking to the center now than ever before. And as for housing starts, this is Long Island. There is no real vacant land anymore to create housing starts. So in this area, in the heart and dead center of Nassau County, housing turnover, yes, but not housing starts. It's misleading, that comment.
Fair enough.
Are the members ready to vote? Yep.
May I
Commissioner
speak?
Fin-
Can I say something?
No, you already spoke?
Or that's
No.
the
No, she's the
applicant.
applicant.
Go ahead.
Good.
Hi, I'm Harpreet Kaur. Me and my husband owned a business, a card and gift store in the next shopping center, where Helen is actually has a liquor store. So we've been in the community for over 17 years, operating a card and business store. During COVID, the business started to rapidly decline. And as a minority and a businesswoman in the community, I opted to reach out to Villa Liquors to try to see if, and he never ever responded. So I reached out to the landlord's attorney, and they had carved out another space where he was supposed to move, and that's how this process was started. So I want to stay in the community. People know me in the community, me and my husband, for over 17 years operating that business, and I want to sustain that another type of business and continue it for myself, my children. So, that's the reason of me being here. We've fought since almost 2 years to try to get here again in front of you, and we appreciate the opportunity of giving us another chance. There's a vast amount of different sales, and there's a lot of business to go around, even if I come there as a new applicant. Again, as the landlord and as John pointed out, this store was here way before any of the other applicants were already approved, including Turtle Wine. 50 years ago, 1973 is when he opened up. So all I'm requesting is, your approval for this application for me and my family to open another business in an area that I've already been there. There's so many members of the community that know me in New Hyde Park.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Commissioner Fan?
All the closest stores are doing rising numbers. I don't think you leave us alone until we give you a store, both of you. So I'm going to vote to approve.
Commissioner Ford?
I do agree with Mr. Springer, essentially, that you are replacing a store, so I'm voting to approve as well.
And Chairman Bradley?
I'm voting to deny the closest, I'm sorry, the previous, this is the second application for the same liquor store. We denied it once on recon. We denied it again based on the fact that there was no public convenience and advantage, and pointed out that the market has changed. There's 22 stores within 3 miles. I don't see public convenience and advantage, so I'm voting to deny.
But you're approved. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep, have a good day. Next is 1652 June and Min Corporation. The June and Min, oh, there it is.
52.
You could put your names on the record.
Brandon Lee, June and Min Corporation.
Yoon Lee, June and Min Corporation.
So you've had some issues with us in the past.
Yes.
A lot of issues.
Yes.
You have 2 other grocery stores in Long Island?
So I used to own 3 7-Eleven. The store that had an issue, I had to get rid of it because I've learned my lesson. There's so much I could do. So now I'm focusing on the other 2 locations.
But you're looking, is this one of those 2 locations?
Yes. So we're closing the location end of this month, and we're relocating it to new location December 7th.
Where?
Across the street.
So how close are these 2 stores to each other?
They're a 5-minute drive, but the new location is literally, you could throw a rock at it.
That's what I mean. The new location is going to be right across the street from
Yes.
your current store?
Yes.
Wait, you have a store in Bethpage.
Yes.
You're a store in Levittown.
Yes.
You're moving one of those?
Yes. Bethpage location, 7-Eleven Corporation, they told us to move to across the street where the.
So have you already applied to move the Bethpage store to?
Yes, that's the application that you're looking at. So we're just relocating, we're not expanding.
You're not, that store's not licensed right now?
The new location?
No, the one that you're moving.
I'm
You have
sorry.
2 stores. Are they both licensed right now?
Yes.
So which one is this?
So.
You're closing your Bethpage store.
Right.
And then you're going to open up this store.
Yes.
Okay.
And this store is across the street from your current store.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Got it.
The members have any other questions?
No, it's just a question of whether you're going to do it or not. Go ahead.
Commissioner Fan?
On any kind of,
You can do a scanner, yeah.
all right,
That's the only thing that you could do to protect it.
I know. You have a lot of sale to minor in your record, so I'm going to ask you to add a scanner.
Yes, definitely.
Otherwise, I'm going to vote to approve.
Okay, thank you.
And that's not a scanner that you use for the lottery or anything like that. This is a scanner that identifies fake IDs.
Yes.
You should contact our enforcement bureau and they can give you some ideas about what you should get.
Okay, I will.
Commissioner Ford?
I'll approve with the scanner as well.
And Chairman
I'll
Bradley?
approve with the same condition. Can we take 2 minutes?
All right, you've been approved. Thank you. All right, well, yep. We're going to go on a brief recess. We'll be back on the record shortly.
All right, Donald.
All right, we're back on the record after a brief recess. Next item is 1619, All World Wines and Spirits LLC. All Worlds. There we go.
Good afternoon, Joseph Levy here on behalf of the applicant.
No applicant? Not the, I mean, the only issue is, and the reason it's here, which I'm sure you're aware of, is, so what's the story with the guy working for the winery?
Sure, so there's one of the principals here works for a local winery on the North Fork. He actually manages their F&B component, the hospitality service, and like the tasting room, the, ordering the food and catering the parties, things like that. He's a straight employee here. He owns no equity, gets no bonuses, is not incentivized by commissions or any way whatsoever. The thought was that at the time this license would get approved, he would resign from that position and take over at the store. Then this advisory came out from the authority that construed this situation in the exact converse.
Right.
I spoke to counsel's office at the time and asked if that would be applicable in the reverse fact set, and counsel's office said they felt that it should be and that I could represent that if I wanted to answer a deficiency letter in that way, which I did. And then we received a communication from Deputy Commissioner Donahue indicating that I could either seek a declaratory ruling for this or just appear when it runs its course before the members. Based on timing, this seemed like the quicker and cheaper option for my client.
All right. I don't see it that way. You think it's inconsistent with that advisory?
You don't want me to answer that question.
No.
I think you made a mistake in the declaratory ruling.
Okay, well, we can agree to disagree. Okay, we can vote.
All right, Commissioner Fan.
I'm going to vote that this is consistent with the declaratory ruling and that our declaratory ruling was accurate, and vote in the affirmative.
Commissioner Ford.
I'm going to vote to say we were right too.
And Chairman Bradley.
I'm going to vote to approve.
Thank you.
The goal of the advisory was to, as legally possible, liberalize the Tide House rule, and I think
it wasn't an advisory. It was a
declaratory rule.
And we've always told people.
I thought you said I don't want you to answer.
But I just want to clarify because we've told people that unless you're four square on that declaratory ruling, licensing isn't going to assume.
I didn't say you should assume
Yeah,
it. I didn't say you should assume it. It's fine coming here. All right, go ahead. Thank you.
1660A, Griffon Q LLC and Zodiac Club LLC.
16 what, Donnie?
1660A.
Joseph Levy here, again on behalf of the applicant.
So initially, I thought that this was done intentionally, but then I realized I'm assuming your client can't be that stupid that he actually would do the same thing twice and think he'd get away with it. That's kind of, so I'm going to assume it was a ministerial error on your part.
100%. What we do to make the application process a bit simpler for our clients is we rebuild the forms with drop-down menus. It was very simply that he clicked the wrong thing in the drop-down menu. We're not so stupid as to imagine that you guys are not aware of all the disciplinaries. There's actually one on the calendar today that was pending at this time, nor was there any benefit whatsoever in us answering this question incorrectly. We had community board approval, signed stipulations, agreed to with the local community board going into this 500-foot rule hearing, and this was nothing more than a ministerial error.
All right, so I'll vote to reconsider.
Commissioner Fan?
Yes, yes on reconsideration.
And then do we
Can't just go
approve
back
this or
to
send it
license.
back?
No,
Let's go back
gotta
to
go back to license.
Yeah.
Commissioner Ford?
I'm still here. Sorry. Yes, I'll vote to recon too.
Send back to licensing?
Back to licensing.
And if I can, please request that the temporary permit be
Yes,
reactivated.
The temp is reactivated, yes.
Thank you.
All right. Next is 1609, 292 Adams Deli and Grocery Inc.
Oh, we had one more.
You had another one?
Yeah. I mean, I can take a break if you want.
I was.
So we can just, we'll just vote on this. There's nobody here for it. Go ahead, Don.
Oh, yeah, because that was an accident.
All right, just go vote.
1609, that's all for 1500.
Yeah, 1500.
Accept.
Accept.
Commissioner Ford, you accept?
Accept, yes.
All right, sorry, that was me trying to get everything together. Your 1649, is that One Tiger LLC?
Yeah.
Yep. 1649, One Tiger LLC.
Joseph Levy here again on behalf of the applicant. So recall from the last meeting.
We held this over to clear up some community board issues, remove the speakers outside.
Correct. That's all been done. If you'd like photographic evidence of it, I have that with me. I
No,
can
I'm
provide
sure
it.
I think we have better than
Mr.
photograph.
Booth here, yeah, he's gonna
Mr.
tell us
Booth.
if it wasn't.
Yeah.
Hold on, you can't let him,
They were.
let me.
I
let-
actually walked by there. Yes, they were moved.
Let him go first and then you can go.
Yeah, I think I raised most of my issues last time, and it was left that they didn't have a chance to respond. I can go over those again.
Oh, all right, then go ahead.
Yeah.
So as mentioned, this was on at the last board meeting. We were given some work to do between then and now, which we've completed. We heard what the community board had to say last time. We read the submission. I submitted my own second supplemental submission that addressed a lot of that. This is not a situation that, you know, I would categorize as the bait and switch it was categorized as. I would represent that they are still very much executing the plan that was represented. The only difference being that there's a new DBA here and that there's a modified menu from the full menu available in the restaurant, but the spaces are connected. This should have been an alteration, and it was, and they're being operated in tandem, and this is allowing them to do the things that we represented it would. And again, by way of community support, I had submitted that we had received a number of signatures in support, a letter from the Chinatown Chamber of Commerce in support. These operators have other businesses in the community that have been operating well. And for better or for worse, these operators are generally conscientious operators. We appreciate that the speakers was a misunderstanding with the speakers in the roadbed versus the speakers outside the restaurant, and that the TVs were not going to be operating in traditional fashion, so they didn't think it was a big deal, but we own those mistakes. They've been removed and they won't be made again.
So just so I can be clear here, right now you have 12 o'clock Sunday to Wednesday, 1 a.m. Thursday to Saturday, recorded background music, and a sidewalk cafe that closes at 10 p.m. Sunday through Thursday and 11 p.m. Friday and Saturday.
Correct.
And you want a 2 a.m. close every night inside and a 12 a.m. close for outside areas, which means the sidewalk cafe as well as the areas, which means the sidewalk cafe as well as the roadbed seating.
So the roadbed seating has been removed completely.
Okay.
The enclosure for the outdoor space has been removed completely. Now the only thing that exists is some sidewalk seating that's allowed per
Which
the
is how
DOT
many?
guidelines.
Approximately how many?
It's roughly outside now.
About, sorry, 16.
16?
16 to 20 seats.
Okay.
And again, this is generally a commercial corridor. There's a open air parking lot across the street. It's right up the street from the courthouses. There's a hotel right there.
All right, Mr. Booth, you have something to say, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think that we remain opposed to this. It's nice to see the changes. Another issue that came up since then, which I briefly raised at the last meeting, we also aren't quite clear if this complies with the 200-foot rule as well. There are representations that were made to the authority to Commissioner Roberts, but to satisfy that, they have in the last 2 weeks removed the doors that are on their corner space, but that area is recessed in the building, and they utilize the corridor to service the outdoor area so that it's exclusively under their control. They're carrying alcohol through it, et cetera. And we just raised that because, again, this is another representation that's not quite accurate and just changes since the original submission to us. We had emailed some additional materials today that included pictures from yesterday that show the speakers down, but also show that the doors were removed. but if you walked by the place as Commissioner Fan did, you would think the entrance is on the corner. These are a lot of small technicalities. I know there's a lot of rules about that, but that's an issue as well. There's also from what we could.
Can I just understand
Sure.
what you're saying? So where's the 200-foot wood being triggered? Is it being triggered by the addition of this space?
If I can show you what, these are materials that
They were using a new entrance that would have been with, if I understand your argument, the addition included a new entrance that would have been within 200 feet.
That's correct. And these are materials that have already been submitted to the authority. I've just sort of annotated them.
But you realize how easy that is for them to cure. They just stop using that door.
I agree. I'm just, sorry, one more.
Thank you.
But the new space is in the middle of the block. The corner of
That's,
the block was always their space already, so that's not new.
it's not new, but
If there was a
they've,
mistake, it was already been.
No, he's saying
The-
because of the door moved.
they're submitting new diagrams, and I'm not even, I don't know which diagrams you have. But the point being is this is an issue that has always been an issue for this location. We've previously submitted materials since 2016 when the space was first licensed. And we were told it was a non-issue based on the fact that the setback would not be enclosed or utilized as part of the premises. So you can see on page 1 and 2, the numbers are down on the bottom right, the
Yeah, I
survey.
don't need to waste time on this. They just
Okay.
tell them to
Alright.
shut the door. I'm not gonna.
But they, when they're operating, there is
No,
no
they're
other
gonna have
door.
to close the door.
So, but as far as, the other issues, it's nice that they've corrected those issues, but this space is also doubled in size, the noise issues have been ongoing since the space was licensed. It's now much closer to what it was originally licensed. But, the board was unanimous in its opposing the extension of hours, but as you saw, we were closely divided, but in support
Yeah, I get
of the
it.
extension of the premises, so.
I understand. I just, Center Street is a wide street, as council mentioned, and there's just not a huge amount of residents. It's really very commercial corridor there, so I'm not quite
Yeah,
worried.
one of our board members lives right there, and,
really?
there are people who do live in that area, and so we have regular information on the impact of the license. And I don't have the exact numbers in our original submission, but it's a doubling in size of the
All right,
space.
what about your hours? You want to just stick with what you've agreed to then?
That's right.
Which is Thursday to Saturday, 1 a.m., Sunday to Wednesday, 12 a.m., and then the sidewalk is 10 and 11.
Well, there's only 11 though, right? Because there's no more roadbed seating. From what they said.
Okay.
It's just a sidewalk cafe. What's the deal with the door?
So
Because it does appear that the new door is within 200 feet, which would close the whole place.
So, right, so we did a survey when this was originally filed, and we had it professionally done, we didn't do it ourselves, and it was over 200 feet to the entry point to the building. Like I said in my submission, they did put up a vestibule, which they've employed at times in bad weather, which does extend out, and I could see the argument there, but that is absolutely not static. It was recently removed again. It's not
I'm
part
not
of the
saying
fixed
you have to
facade.
remove it, but there's a door right on the corner now into that vestibule. That's a problem.
The vestibule's gone.
But what's this?
The door,
It looks like there's two doors, one on Center Street and one on the corner of Center
so there was a
Street.
vestibule built out here further, which has been removed. The original survey that we did, which was over 200 feet, was to the frame of the actual doors.
You're saying that's 200 plus right there.
We had
Because
an assignment
because
done
they're
out.
saying, well, let me show you what they're saying. I think what they're saying is that this door is under 200 feet, but this one isn't, and that's 8 feet.
So, do you have the land assignment?
No.
Yeah, it's right there, page 1 and 2.
Oh, right, okay. That's the temple, that's the,
So I think this is to the outside of the vestibule.
Is that what you're saying? The measurement was to the outside of the vestibule?
To the corner of the building is 192 feet 7 inches. To the vestibule is 200 feet and 8 inches. But the vestibule is used and people carry alcohol out that door, and they go to service the sidewalk cafe. So
Well, I don't know that this, the 200-foot rule doesn't affect service.
Yeah, so that would not be a violation of because the 200-foot law only applies to actually entrances into the premises.
To the public, to the public.
they have tables and chairs that extend closer than 200 feet. And the original
Oh,
submission.
that may be too, but what the law tells us is we have to go to the entrance.
Well, no. If there's, and I'm not saying it's the situation here, but like, for example, if there was a patio area in front of the door, right? Then the measurement we'd take into the patio.
Yeah. Right.
And there is.
No, we require everyone to go through the restaurant to get seating outside there, so you have to enter the restaurant through that threshold, which is over 200
Right, what
feet.
Tom's saying, if there's an entrance through the patio, it's right at the entrance to the patio.
I'm aware, if you look on page.
Well, then I would make sure that you don't have any entrances except your main entrance.
Fine. I mean, look, the law is the law. We're happy to comply with it. We thought we did that when we did the measurement, when we originally filed the application, and we thought it was
I mean,
compliant.
in theory, they can move their whole entrance to this side and.
I don't think they need to move anything, as long as they close that door and nobody's getting into the patio without going through the restaurant.
Page 16
I wouldn't worry
is the
about it. It's
side
not an
door,
issue.
Which is, how you walk in. And if you look at their diagrams, you'll see that the tables and chairs extend to the corner.
But if the door is over 200 feet, granted by inches, what's wrong with it?
Nothing.
To be used, period.
Can be used.
I mean, the vestibule, the corner of the building is 192 feet according to this, right?
Mhm.
But the door is 200.
We go from the door,
So you go from the door, so you can use a door. You can't
All right, I would just
have any
shore that
outdoor
up.
space closer than that. You understand that, right?
Of course.
Okay.
Okay.
It's permanently open. You can't even go into a Chase branch or a Citibank branch after 10 p.m. anymore in New York City. In this area, it's an open vestibule. They're going to leave it open the whole time going forward. You know, that this is what I'm saying. This is a very gray area. There was no declaratory ruling on it. It was not established exactly how they comply. That's our only point on that matter. So so there's a gray area as it goes forward with to what the compliance is to the.
But
ordinance.
the vestibule it's open, right? I mean, it's not like it's a door behind you going into a vestibule, right?
It's not a fixed part of the building. It's a storm enclosure, basically.
Commissioner Ford, I think what he's really concerned about is because all of these are basically like garage doors. They're all like sliding.
Oh, wait, is
So
the
essentially
vestibule
this
still
whole
there?
thing opens.
It's gone now.
And basically all of this is happening on the sidewalk because they have a very wide sidewalk. That's kind of.
Yeah, but we didn't make the sidewalk cafe laws, the city did.
And they're not even
Yeah, I
real
know.
yet.
It just plays into the
No, I know,
hours.
and I don't disagree. I don't know that I would have put them there myself, but there's not much.
Yeah, no.
We raised this
Just talking
issue
about the condition.
based on the diagram that was submitted to you that shows an exterior door.
I
on
get
the
that. I'm
corner.
telling
So
them not
that's-
to use the
right.
door. There's not
So
much
that's-
more we can do. If they use the door, then they're within 200 feet.
And the Soho bar is all inside.
Correct. And it's further south down Center Street, further away.
Yeah, I know.
But they can use the door for service. That has nothing to do with it.
Okay. All right.
So it's not a public entrance. That's all you have to be concerned with. You understand what I'm saying? The door on the corner.
Yeah.
It cannot be a public entrance because that would put it within 200 feet.
But
It can be a service entrance.
But I thought it was established that it's over 200 feet. It was with the vestibule door that it's.
Well, I haven't seen pictures of the vestibule gone.
I mean, we can show you.
Or go have it measured again, one or the other.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to have it measured again, just to be certain and submit photos. I mean,
Yeah, that's fine.
Happy to do that.
I wanted to go by what Mr. Booth just gave us. Right? You had this done professionally, Mr. Booth?
We didn't have it. That was provided by the.
That was one diagram that showed to the exterior of the vestibule. The next diagram shows the entrance to the building, which is 200 feet, 8 inches, I believe.
That's what I meant. That
Correct,
one,
yes.
He's saying the vestibule's gone now, so it's over 200 feet.
Got it. So.
So I
right.
just have that measured without the vestibule. Okay. Donald, I think we're ready.
All right, Commissioner Fan.
All right, I'm going to vote to approve with recorded music only, no dancing. Hours are Sunday to Wednesday to midnight, Thursday to Saturday, 1 a.m. And the Sidewalk Cafe is 11 p.m. across the board.
That's what we currently have.
Yeah, that's what's already.
10 p.m. is the earlier hours.
Yeah, I just put 11, just so that it's.
So you're not changing the inside operating hours?
No.
Just 11 p.m. across the board for the outside.
Mm-hmm.
Commissioner Ford
I would approve under the same conditions.
and Chairman Bradley.
I would extend the outside to 1 a.m. And then, I mean, I'm sorry, inside to 1 a.m., outside to 11.
1 a.m., 7 days.
Yeah.
I'll agree to that.
So Commissioner Ford, you're approving the hours?
Hours till 1 a.m. inside.
So 1 a.m. every night,
Yes.
rather than just Sunday. Sorry.
11 p.m. outside.
Okay. I'll agree to that, Donald. 1 a.m. outside.
Inside.
No, 1 a.m. inside, 11 outside.
Okay.
Thank you.
As long as the TVs and the speakers stay inside.
Well, they don't exist anymore, the TVs. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you again, Commissioner Ford.
Thank you, Mr. Booth.
Next is 1658, BILLYPETE Limited.
Thomas Burke from the Law Office of Stacy Weiss, and with me is the applicant, Mr. William Bishop.
What's this? What is this, Donald?
1658.
1658, yep.
Yeah, go ahead.
58?
Yes, yes.
I don't know what the issue is.
You don't know why you're here?
We didn't do the application, we were just retained for the purposes of the meeting, but I wasn't told what the issue is.
When you're retained.
Now, I've looked it over, I don't know what the issue is.
Did you read the agenda sheet that has the questions that presented and has 2 questions listed?
No, I'm afraid, Tom. I
Whereas
didn't
there's
do
a
that.
church is 171
Post that online
feet
for a
from
reason.
the entrance door to the
I'm
premises.
gonna adjourn this for 2 weeks so that he can go find out what the issue is.
And just so you know, going forward, okay? Every licensing matter, there is a summary.
What's the date?
So there's a longer memo that goes to the members, okay? There's a shortened version of that, which lists why it's going to the members. And it's put up on the website.
And
at
just
least
so
a
you
week in
find out what
advance.
the issue is, you have a 200-foot issue.
200-foot issue.
Plus his adverse history.
This cancellation.
Yeah,
Thank
the
you.
treasure
Next,
of
Donald.
It's a little more than a cancellation. It's-
We held it
thank you.
over November 22nd, right?
Yes.
Okay. Next is 1648, the table at REDEYE Inc.
Sorry, Don, I was making a note to myself. What?
1648.
It's the table at Redeye, right?
Yes, the
Yeah.
table at REDEYE.
John Springer for the applicant. With me is Peter Cesari. He is the principal owner and the driving force behind this restaurant. With him is his wife, Marnie. I believe there might be protesters here. It's not a liquor store. Do you want to hear from us first, or?
I don't see them.
They're behind, I think.
Oh, yeah. Yes, are you in opposition? Come on up. And the CB is also in opposition.
Yeah. I'm Diana Lawrence.
And I'm also here with Kathleen Treat, who is another resident of the building in which the table at Redeye Purple Tongue will be operating. And I'm also here for a very personal reason, that there are 4 apartments for whose floor is the ceiling of the Purple Tongue. And beyond those 4 apartments, which actually share a ceiling floor with the Purple Tongue, there are 20 other units in the sort of weird 3-story building that's between 2 residential towers that live above Purple Tongue on 43rd, West 43rd Street. I think that we all agree that the denial by the Community Board 4, I think you have their very strong letter, makes the case perfectly clear. I think the things that are most important to us as residents, and this includes people on the other side of West 43rd Street, so I'm representing them too. They call themselves the West 43rd Street Block Association. I live in Manhattan Plaza and am a member of the Tenants Association, which I believe also wrote you a letter recently supporting the CB4's letter of denial. I think the most important issues are the closing hours and perhaps opening hours. As they are in the application, I believe it's a 7 a.m. opening and a 3 a.m. closing, or 2 a.m. closing, which means 20 hours of operation. So that's a big issue, and we would like the closing to be at least, would be closer to 12 on the weekdays and maybe 1 on Saturday or Sunday. And at the CB4 meeting, the applicants wouldn't discuss any changes, and I think that was very telling.
And what's the issue with the opening? You have
Oh, yes, that it's open 20 hours a day, and they're asking for.
No, I understand that, but they're open, say they want to open at 7, that's just their breakfast. You're not saying you have an issue with that, or you?
I don't know with that, no.
It's the closing.
It's the closing is the biggest issue.
Okay.
And that gets us back to serving liquor and not just wine and beer. And the application, of course, the copy of the application that I have says liquor at the top, application type
Wine.
is liquor license.
So let me explain what you're doing, and I think he explained it to some people, maybe not everybody. Because it's in New York City, you cannot get a temporary license unless you apply as a restaurant wine, at least when he applied. Now we do have looser rules.
Oh, I see that. I think there was a reference somewhere to that, and I didn't
And so
understand it.
I think the objective here was to get the temporary license, get the permanent wine license, but then immediately
Yes.
file for an on-premise full liquor license.
Yes, that is the intention.
And as long as he articulated that, which he says he did, then there's really no, he's made it clear that he's looking to get a full
Yes,
liquor license.
yes. So that was with this application?
No, he doesn't have to do it with this application. He's going to wait till he gets this one approved and then apply for the on-premise license.
So this is an application for wine and beer?
Correct.
Okay, that wasn't clear because of circumstances. So the closing time, the liquor and live music, particularly live acoustic music, is a sort of vague general category. And although they may want a singer and a guitar unamplified, where do you stop? The piano, which is much more, the noise travels farther unamplified or not.
Mm-hmm.
So, I want to point out that there are 2,500 people living in Manhattan Plaza, which is that big block complex, and another 500 people that live across the street. So it's a wide neighborhood, and I think those are our big objections: is the hours
And the live
and the liquor license.
Well, why is the liquor? Well, we're not even talking about liquor right now anyway. We're
Okay.
talking about wine right
The
now.
point of the liquor
come back on
license
the
until
liquor.
3 a.m. means that when people are leaving at 3 a.m.
So people get drunk on wine.
Well, that's true too, but if you close at midnight, they don't have as much time.
True.
So I think those are issues that have not been fully addressed.
Okay.
And I don't think we were clear that this was a beer and license, A
So-
beer and wine license.
Correct, so the point was so that they could get a temporary license, and then
Yeah,
the
no,
plan
he's-
is to apply, he's gonna be a full liquor, but I don't know that we need to discuss that today.
Oh, that's fine. No, I understand that, and it wasn't clear because of the way the application was marked.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Respectfully, it was clear in the 30-day notice, our community board submission, my comments at the meeting, the actual motion to recommend denial, I've never seen anything like this. The committee member who made the motion said, we have to block wine and beer because if they get wine and beer, it makes it easier to get full liquor later. So that is what it is. The place was an RW before, no adverse history. We have a asset purchase agreement. The place was soundproof before. There were no complaints. There's no 311 complaints. The application, we're asking for 2 a.m. all nights. The outdoor area would close by midnight. There'd be no music of any kind outside. We just want a jazz duo, non-amplified singer, guitar player, perhaps, something like that. It's a small place, 28 seats, 8 at the bar, 26 outside on a patio, which was licensed before on private property. We have a fully equipped kitchen with electric convection oven. And we just put in new exhaust system. And the owners are here. As far as the petitions, we submitted a 158-page petition or signature petition in support. 65 of the signatures are from residents of Manhattan Plaza. And we're here to answer any questions you have. And
So looking at what the community board has suggested, I mean, you're not like at completely opposite ends of what you want. I mean, you're close. I mean,
that's a big difference, 12 and 2.
12 and 2, yes. I agree it is.
And it's a theater district. We have a theater right across the street, which has some late programming.
How late?
Come on, West Side Theater does not have late programming.
How late is
They
the
end at 10:30.
10:30?
10:30.
Well, if we got to be done by 12, that's kind of handcuffing.
That's one theater.
A lot of people in Manhattan work until midnight, police officers, firemen, nurses, doctors.
It's an argument we hear in every single case, Mr.
And,
Springer.
okay, and also there are other 2 a.m. licenses in the area for restaurants.
All right, Donald.
All right, Commissioner Fan.
I'm going to vote to approve principles to manage, security guards that's needed, non-amplified live acoustic music only.
And recorded.
Yes, and recorded music. 8 private events a year. No third-party promoters, no dancing, no outdoor service. 1 a.m. across the board.
No outdoor service?
No outdoor service?
No outdoor service.
Over front patio.
Community board was
Isn't
okay
it
with
covered?
outdoor service.
We have a private area.
It's
It's not
covered, right?
sidewalk.
Is
It's
it
not
covered?
Hold on
sidewalk.
1 second.
Okay.
Fine.
It's covered.
It's covered.
And it's covered.
10 tables and 20 seats.
13 tables, 26 seats on the patio, which is covered.
Started with the restaurant is very small inside, but it actually has almost 40 people outside.
26. Which is what they had before. The last RW had it.
TV wants 10 p.m. Sunday to Thursday and 11 p.m. Friday to Saturday.
Okay, I'll
Is that
just
right?
do that. Yeah, that's fine.
Outdoor seating, it's limited to 10 tables and 20 seats located within a private property line. Immediately in front of the establishment only, is that
Okay,
right?
and then I'll do the community board hours for the outdoor space.
No.
What'd you do for indoor?
1
And
a.m.
1 a.m.
Outdoors at what? What time did you say? 10?
And 11.
10 and 11.
10 p.m. Sunday to Thursday, 11 p.m. Friday to Saturday. 20 seats. Commissioner Ford, are you okay with that?
Even though there's 13 tables. There's 13 tables.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
And Chairman Bradley.
Yeah, vote to approve on the same conditions.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Done.
Next is
Hey, can
16.
you make sure that when the on-premise license comes, that it comes to the board?
If they apply for one after this, yes.
Okay, so,
I mean, there's gonna be opposition, that's
well,
what I'm
if
saying.
there's opposition, it's coming, but, okay.
Just make it come.
No matter, even if there's a community board stip or,
Oh, no, if they have steps, then
well,
fine.
then it would just be treated as normal then.
Right.
Yeah.
Next is 1626 and 1627, VYBZ Astoria Inc.
John Springer for the licensee. I wasn't aware this was on until late last night when I was looking at the agenda. Otherwise, I would have submitted a supplemental. The licensee sent me photos of a food prep area, a menu, a
I
security.
can hold this over till the 22nd.
My questions are those safety violations all remediated?
Yes. We can address that in the supplemental.
I think you should submit your supplemental.
Okay. 22nd of,
Is that okay with Commissioner
Yes,
Ford and
yes.
Chairman?
Yes.
22nd of what, November?
November, yeah. Next is 1621, SIGO SIENDO, El Rey Corp.
1621, you said?
Yes, sir. 1621.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hector Tirado from Tirado and Associates. I have Heidi Palmer from Tirado and Associates, and we also have the principal, Noe Velasco.
Just who else is here?
So I'm Heidi Palmer. We're from Tirado and Associates, Hector Tirado, and then we have the applicant, Noe Velasco.
What's his relationship with Velez, Mr. Velez?
He has no relationship with him. He is just a buyer, and Velez is
And
the
that was my
seller.
next question. So he doesn't know the guy, he just bought.
He
this
bought the
stuff.
business from him, correct?
Does he speak English?
A little bit, yes.
Okay. Did you know Mr. Velez before you bought the business?
No,
How'd you find the business?
with friend. He knows him. And
He knows Velez.
Yeah. So he told me he gonna sell that.
And what's your friend do?
For
work?
Yeah, for.
What's he do?
I start drinking in.
He does
other
what?
Restaurants.
Restaurants?
Yeah.
What restaurant does he own?
¿Does he own a restaurant? ¿Es dueño de un restaurante o trabaja?
No, dueño.
Okay.
Yeah, I me olvidé cómo se llama.
Okay. He said he forgot the name of the restaurant, but he does own a restaurant.
Where is it? In the Bronx?
You didn't know him till you bought this business,
Yeah.
but he was the landlord for the other business you applied for before this.
Ese es el otro
Yes.
dueño, sí.
Correct.
Okay, so he knew him before he bought this business.
Yeah, he knew him from the other purchase, which was, he was the landlord, and I think that's how they became affiliated, right?
He just said his friend became.
Through his friend that introduced him to Mr. Velez.
For as the landlord for the other place?
For the
or
other
to buy
place.
this place?
For both. Yes, he introduced him to him as a landlord and also as a seller.
So he bought this from Velez, this business. What'd he get for it? Just the name?
He bought it, he got the name and it was already pretty established.
Like what? What did he
The
get?
seating was already there, the bar section was already there. It was already done because I think Mr. Velez was trying to get a
But he
license
doesn't
under
own
his
the
name.
building, right?
No, he doesn't own the building, he's
Does
a
he own the
renter.
equipment in the restaurant?
Yes, he does. He owns
All
the fixtures,
stoves?
the equipment, yes, the merchandise, the
How much
products.
did he pay?
He, if I'm not mistaken, it was 50,000.
And where did he get that money? Ask him.
¿El dinero fue un préstamo?
Sí, con préstamo y con mi familia.
Y con la familia? Okay, he said he got loan from bank and he also got loan from friends.
What friends? The friend that introduced him to Mr.
Family,
Velez?
I'm sorry, family members. Familia, ¿verdad? Yes, family members. I'm sorry.
And then
Whoa. He got.
I know.
You're saying now he got a loan from the bank.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so why does this application say that Mr. Velez is holding a note for 48,000?
Actually, that's where the loan from the bank came from. He obtained a loan in order to pay off that note, to be
So that-
clear
oh,
of
so-
Mr. Velez.
So he paid that off?
He paid that off. It has been paid off, yes.
How often does he drive in from Norwalk, Connecticut?
¿Cuánto, todos los días?
Sí.
Yeah, he said he drives every day.
How far is that?
Como 30 minutos.
20 minutos.
He says about 20 minutes. It's right borderline Connecticut.
Where's Mr. Velez today? Do you know? Not to this day, but what's he doing now?
¿Sabe lo que está haciendo Vélez? ¿Tiene
For
alguna
work.
información para trabajo o no sabe?
¿De los años?
No, de Vélez, como que él hace. No, he says he's not aware of his whereabouts.
Is he open today without alcohol?
No, he's not open at the moment.
Has he been?
No, he's not. He's been closed since he submitted the application, so it's been over a year. The landlord has been giving him breaks with the rent, just awaiting this license.
All right.
It's not exactly 20 minutes.
No, it's more than
40 miles.
Okay. What's so recorded music
Yes, recorded music.
only, no live music?
No, no live music. Recorded music only. Hours of operation are from 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. It is going to be a tavern.
No dancing.
No dancing, and it's going to be a limited menu, mostly appetizers.
Okay. Go ahead, Donald.
Commissioner Fan,
I'm gonna vote to deny.
Commissioner Ford,
I'm sorry, I'm just looking at the history. I'm gonna have to vote to deny as well.
I'm going to vote to approve, but it was going to be conditioned on the loan paperwork being filed with licensing, but it's denied.
Okay.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next is 1629 GT Kingston Restaurant and Bar Inc.
What number again?
29.
1629.
Timothy Allenwick for the applicant. With me is Egbert Bethune.
Are you sure that's who it is?
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't have, the other principals?
I don't have the licensee. His son Desmond.
Did you explain to them how this all got screwed up?
Yeah, so this is kind of a convoluted history here. Mr. Bethune operated a restaurant here in 2008 and let the license expire at the end of the term, I think in 2013 or 14. His wife, his common law wife, then operated Georgetown Kingston, and they were living together at the time when they split. She surrendered the license and I guess accused him of availing the license there.
They actually, I think, more than accused, I think he was found to be availing it. The son, right?
No,
Egbert.
Egbert. He's
Oh,
Egbert.
you're Egbert?
He's Egbert, yeah. So then Desmond formed this corporation, GT Kingston Restaurant, and I think applied in 2016 or 17 and was approved in 2020. Now
And
he's
now
got
he wants
other business
Egbert-
interests.
He wants to add Egbert to the license.
Yeah, he's got other business opportunities with.
Is he taking himself off?
Yes, it's to take him off. It's 100%.
Okay.
So that's.
All right, Donald.
That's how it runs.
All right, Commissioner Fan,
I'm gonna vote to approve.
Commissioner Ford.
I vote to approve as well.
Thank you.
Bradley.
Thank you, Commissioner Ford.
Wow.
Take care.
Next is, yep, have a good day. Next is 1650 AUBIRAMSA NY 1 LLC. Did no one sign in for this? Did Carter Booth sign into this again?
Whose is this?
That's Carter again.
The applicant was supposed to show up today.
I know, they keep not showing up.
License was supposed to appear.
Did I accidentally pull this?
Carter, because this is the one where the Carter was saying that
Speaker's outside.
there's a stip, but they're violating it.
Yeah.
We told him to come in before?
We told him to come in today, the applicant.
Carter Booth appeared in support last time?
No, in opposition,
Oh,
because
well,
they're.
the agenda sheet says support.
I thought support.
No, he wasn't support.
Well, then let's deny it. Screw it. They've
Wait,
been
should we
asked to
just
come in, they didn't come
What,
in.
did we ask them to come in? Do we know for sure?
I mean, let me check the email, but the emails usually make it clear that they've been requested to appear. Like, especially when you go to the agenda sheets.
I mean, I'm not asking twice.
Well, I just want to make sure that they were asked and didn't show up.
Yes, we sent emails to
Okay.
the applicant. We made the new scheduled date is November 9th. The members have directed you, the applicant, to appear on this date.
All right, denied.
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 $16.31 Longford Inc.
1631.
1631. Yeah, that was Carter Booth who signed in.
Good afternoon. I was not here for the beginning of the meeting. Was there an announcement that changed your mind, sir? Or, no, huh?
My wife has made no such announcement.
This is an offer in compromise. I just need to bring to the board's attention on this particular case. These premises are located on the east side of Manhattan, with close proximity to the East River. On the particular night in question, there were plumes which would probably
Mr. Palillo is making a joke.
block the vision of the fire extinguisher tags. The plumes from the East River had come over, so I asked you to accept this offer in compromise.
I may have been in this place, so
And
I'm
this
not
is
even
why-
gonna vote on it.
You were not in this place.
I was not?
You were not in this place. I have been in this place, and I deny it.
No, I was in, not socially with the.
Oh.
This was during, oh no, this was pre-COVID, so I was not here.
Mr.
I don't think
Palillo,
you were.
Is this why you became a lawyer and not a comedian?
I am still a comedian, sir, the way I practice law.
All right.
Mr.
But,
Fan, do you accept?
Yes, I'll accept 1,000.
I'll accept.
Thank you.
You wanna get his number? He lives half the year in Florida.
Does he?
I do not. That's Mr. Flynn. Have a good day, folks.
See you later.
Next is 1624 26th Street Restaurant LLC.
Good afternoon, Donald Bernstein on behalf of the licensee. This is an unfortunate situation where license was issued in 2014 for a restaurant, and we had applied for a sidewalk cafe with DCA in the days when we used to do that. Went to the community board, CB5, on the DCA application and agreed on the hours of operation of the sidewalk cafe. Unfortunately, when the community board wrote up the stipulation, they left off Sunday. They just said the hours were Monday through Thursday and Friday and Saturday. And we didn't notice that. The resolution went to you, and when the license was approved, the hours on the license for the Sidewalk Cafe omitted Sunday. Unfortunately, it took us years to realize that that had happened.
Can I just ask a question?
Yes, sir.
The license is posted up in the licensed premises, all right? Every 2 years, you get a new license, the applicant does, and nobody bothered to look at it?
I can't answer for them. They obviously missed it. I can tell you that
Well,
I
would think
never.
at first you get the license, you check the
catch
first,
the
you check the
typo.
first license to see, is it right?
Yeah.
You're a little more anal.
Community board has already said they're fine with it.
Yeah, and they actually redated their 2014 resolution and made it retroactive.
So what's the hours on Sunday?
The hours Sunday through Thursday are closing at 10 PM and midnight Friday and Saturday.
I just have one request regarding the new revised, it was done by community board staff.
What was?
I'm fine with it.
Well, I mean, can we at least get the, I don't care, if it's a subject too.
Listen, well, if they didn't agree to it, we're gonna hear about it. So then he's
Well, I
gonna.
mean, the director is changing a resolution issued by the board.
But he clearly, whoever that is.
Is the
made a
chair.
Determination that it was a typographical error.
The chair who signed the letter that you have now, Vicky Barbero, was the chair of the community board back in 2014 also.
I'm fine with it.
We're good.
Okay, I'm fine with it.
Thank you.
All right, Jonathan, I have nothing else signed in. Is there anyone else here?
No, that's it.
All right.
All right, here we go.
All right, so 1611.
Request to send back to council's office.
Back to council.
Back to council's office.
All right. 1612 is an offer of 2,500.
2,500.
2,500.
Accept.
1613 is an offer of 3,000.
3,000.
3,000.
Accept.
1614 is an offer of 750.
750.
Accept.
Accept.
1615 is a no contest default of pleading.
I'm at cancel and bond.
Cancel and bond.
Cancel and bond.
Appears to be a ship without a captain going on here.
1616 is an offer of 2,500.
2,500.
2,500.
Did you accept?
2,500 accept.
Oh, wait, forget it.
What?
I had some questions about that one.
Go ahead.
On the last one?
No, two back.
Well, just so, are you talking about
Go back.
1615?
1615?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
name
just so
stop.
you know, okay? Well, if it's a cancellation, that's the same thing as a.
No, I want a name stop on the availer too.
All right, but just so, there's another application that's pending, and we've issued a temporary permit, which was actually issued 2 weeks after these incidents.
Who's the licensee? Not June and Kwan.
I think I checked and it wasn't, but I'll double check again.
All right, well, Chairman, 1616 was an offer of 2,500. Did you accept? I don't
No,
know if you said-
I'm at the cancel and bond. Oh, 1616, yeah, I'll accept the 2,500.
Are we
Is it
still in the
Nicole?
1615? Sorry.
Luke. So it's not, it's somebody
Okay.
else.
All right, but do a name stop on Kwan. As well as the other person.
All right, so 1617 is an offer of 1,500.
1,500.
Commissioner Ford?
Reading Tom's notes here. I'll accept.
Chairman?
Accept.
1622 is a proposed advisory.
Yes, I'm gonna vote in the affirmative, that licensees can independently decide to add manager or add security or eliminate manager or eliminate security at their disposal and leisure and does not need full board approval.
That's as long as you haven't approved the application or there's no community board still.
That's right.
Commissioner Ford?
Yeah, so as long as we haven't made that a condition that they do have to have.
Right, because licensing doesn't make those conditions. We just accept whatever the applicant.
No, I could not agree more. I approve.
Chairman?
I'll approve.
1623 is a proposed advisory.
And I'm going to vote to approve this advisory that will clarify the applicant's eligibility for a temporary retail permit.
Commissioner Ford?
I approve this one as well.
Chairman Bradley?
I approve as well.
1630 is an offer of 1,500.
1,500.
1,500.
Accept.
1632 is an offer of 1,250.
12,500.
Accept. 1,250.
1633 is an offer of 4,000.
4,000.
4,000 accept.
1634 is an offer of letter of warning.
Letter of warning.
Letter of warning.
Accept, no history. They're not selling alcohol. That's interesting.
No.
All right. New one.
1635 is a no contest default at pleading.
This one,
Should this place even still be open? I mean, they paid $60,000 plus 2 suspensions.
I know.
They're open in August, so you can go there and dance.
But this has to do with the fact that they renewed late. So I'm at 3,000.
3,000.
How is that 5,000? This is the
That was at
1635, right?
Yeah.
So 3,000 or?
Yeah, they said 3,000, so it's 3,000.
And you said 5,000, Chairman?
Yeah.
1636 is a proposed advisory.
I'm gonna vote in the affirmative.
I'll vote to approve the advisory as well.
What about from someone who protests the decision of a board, of a board approval as we've had?
So we've only had a couple of those come up.
Yeah.
So the point is that the reconsideration process was meant as an alternative to seeking a disapproval here, so we wouldn't have so many hearings.
Right.
You don't, somebody who is opposed to an application and we approve it, they don't have a right to have a hearing. They just go right to court.
Right. But we've had someone come in.
We've had, and counsel's office has indicated in their memos that, you know, you may not want to entertain those because.
What's the standing?
Yeah, what's the standing for them?
Yeah, okay, I agree.
1637 is an offer of $500.
I'm gonna counter at 1,000.
1,000.
1,000.
1638 is an offer of 4,500.
4,500.
4,500.
Commissioner Ford.
4,500.
1641 is an offer of 2,500.
2,500.
2,500.
2,500.
1642 is an offer of cancel and $1,000 civil penalty.
Cancel and bond.
Cancel. I'll take the penalty. We got to take the penalty, or they didn't offer bond.
Oh, I'll take the penalty.
Why would they not want the bond?
Because they don't want it on the financial record.
All right.
1643 is an offer of $6,000.
I'm gonna drop this to 45.
Why 6,000? I want to ask that.
Yeah,
Second
no,
it's a second
it's
offense.
second offense.
If you have a sale to minor and there's any other thing on your record within 5 years, it's 6,000.
Commissioner Fan, you want to drop it, or
I was at 4,500.
Commissioner Ford?
I was in 5. I'll do 4,500.
4,500.
1644 is an offer of 1,000.
1,000.
1,000.
1,000.
1646 is an offer of 1,500.
1,500.
1,500.
1,500.
1651 is a new package store, which they didn't appear.
We
Voting
already
to deny.
Yeah.
We
voting
asked them to come in,
I
they
know.
ignored us.
51.
We're gonna
deny.
what, re-notify the opposition or something, or?
Yeah, we make sure that we notified them.
That notify these people?
Yeah, 1651.
I'll usually adds the
All
email.
they had to do was turn it, knew they had an application, they could have turned it into the meeting and found out.
Yeah,
that
she
we-
sent an email to the applicant, the rep, the opposition, notifying that the members have directed them to the applicant to appear today.
Okay.
Sent that October 28th.
All right, that's denied.
So 1654, 55, 56, and 57 are all temporary retail permit applications. Donald Bernstein sent an email withdrawing the applications.
Okay.
Okay.
1660 is an offer of 6,000.
I'll accept 6,000.
Accept.
And 1660B. It's a notice
So
of
this
adoption.
is a notice of adoption of, well, Tom, you explain what it is, and I'll read what we're supposed to do.
Okay, so last board meeting, the members voted to adopt set of proposed rules after public hearing regarding split case fees. It's my understanding that the matter is now being sent back to you because there is a error in, not on the merits of the rule, but on the paperwork that has to be complied with under the state, for the state register to, you know, be published.
So there was too many words in the SLA's written statement, so the statement had to be edited down to fit the statutory required word number. which was done. But I also want to add that we're going to put these new rules in effect in the January retail price schedule, which will be filed for the February prices in order to give the wholesalers that this affects the opportunity to adjust their systems to comply with this new regulation. And we're voting on that. So we're voting on the date as well as the change in the statement.
Okay, I vote in the affirmative.
Commissioner Ford.
As do I.
And I vote in the affirmative as well.
All right, Chairman, I have nothing else. Do you have anything?
I don't. Thank you.
Meeting's adjourned.